I'm headed to what just might be the most remote campground in all of California. It's called Lassen Creek Campground, tucked into the far northeastern corner of the state, more than 400 miles and a 7-hour drive from the Bay Area. This place is so far off the beaten track, most Californians don't even know it exists. But getting there takes us across some serious history, including Fandango Pass, a little-known immigrant route once promoted as a shortcut into California. The man behind it? Some say a visionary, others say a fraud. So today, it's part road trip, part history lesson, and maybe a little myth-busting too. I'm coming down Surprise Valley Road from Fort Bidwell, California. That puts me on the eastern side of the Warner Mountains. The campground, it's on the western side. That means we have to go over the pass to get to the campground. Okay, we're at the bottom of the grade, the Fandango Pass grade. Next 7 miles, we got lots of curves. And back there, it says it's caution. It's like no trailers, it's steep, it's narrow. What do you say? We get going. See how many of these hairpins we got. I think this is number 3. And another one, and another one. I lost count. Looks like a monument right over there. Let's go take a look. I tend to stop at places like this, places that most people drive by. This is Fandango Pass, and as we discovered, it's quite a haul up the hill. Now we have to kind of put ourselves back in 1848, 1849, and think about the thousands and thousands of immigrants who were coming from the East Coast, coming across the country to get to California. It started in about 1841, and I think it went to the late 1860s. And all told, there were over 300,000 Americans and immigrants who saddled up and loaded those wagons and went. And it was not an easy journey. 1 in 10 people perished on the trail. It could have been from disease or lack of food or water. It could have been from some hostiles. There were lots of obstacles to making your way across the United States. But it was all about finding a better life. There was gold, there was land, there was opportunity for people who maybe didn't have great opportunity back east, so they saddled up, loaded those wagons, and off they went. So this trail, the Fandango Pass, it gave people an option. Those people may have been choosing to go to Oregon. Instead, if they took this cutoff, it would take them to the mines of California and Northern California. I have to laugh at myself because that vehicle behind me, right, it's like, oh, it's rough. You're out there being rugged, and nothing could be further from the truth. You know, I have air conditioning, I have a fridge, I have a bed, I have food, fresh food, I have blueberries, for crying out loud. And I think about these people who came across the United States and traveled such huge distances. I can't even imagine how difficult that would be. So because I love infographics, because I love historical markers and infographics, I'm going to read you a little bit. We're on the Applegate Trail, which was established in 1946. It was Jesse Applegate who marked out the trail about 500 miles, and he traveled ahead of people and basically laid out this path for them. The creation of the Applegate Trail led to the settlement of southern Oregon, and a lot of those people kind of landed in the Willamette, in the Willamette Valley. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten about that remote campground, but I wanted to talk about Modoc County for just a second. I'm up here in the far northeast corner of California, and Modoc County is one of the most sparsely populated areas in the state, and it feels like it. You can drive for miles, not see another soul. This is an area of California that I've recently started exploring, so I'm pretty sure you're going to see more of it. Now, how do I find these places? I'll just pull out a paper map and pore over it, looking for curious names, old routes, or stretches of road that seem to go nowhere. And once I find a spot that looks promising, I figure out if I can actually get there and whether I can camp nearby in the van. Then comes the part that maybe I love most, digging into the history. What happened here? Who passed through? Why does this place matter? Now, we're going to get to the campground soon, but first let's wrap up the story of Fandango Pass. Now let's talk about Peter Lassen for just a second. He's the guy who promoted this trail. And lots of things are named after Peter Lassen in this area. There's the National Park, there's Mount Lassen, his name's on various things, the campground I'm going to stay in. He was a complicated character, and he was really interested in developing this part of California. So he staked out this route, and then he promoted it. And he bears responsibility for some of the heartache that happened to people who came across this trail. So it was in 1859 that Lassen was murdered in the Black Rock mountain range of Nevada, where he was prospecting for silver. They don't really know who did it. They thought maybe it could be the Paiute Indians or maybe some disenchanted prospectors who wanted to give him what was coming to him. Apparently he's laid to rest in Susanville, and there's a big, huge marker. So I don't know if that makes him important or infamous. You were waiting for it. It's a nerd alert. And the pioneers, as they came over this pass, they thought they were at the extreme northern end of the Sierra Nevada mountain range. But turns out that's not it at all. They were actually crossing the southern end of the Cascades that runs from here into Canada. I wasn't sure this was true, but since it's on the marker, I'm going to say it is true. The reason that this is called the Fandango Pass is because when people got here and gained this pass, they thought they were done. They thought that they didn't have any farther to go. So they did a really popular dance at the time called the Fandango, believe it or not. This is the view that would have greeted the pioneers after they had gained the peak and they were coming down. They'd be presented with this big open valley. This is verdant and lush and must have been a huge relief for these pioneers who had undergone so much hardship to get to this point. Here's a quote from Virgil K. Pringle, September 20th, 1846. Virgil says, "Cross over a mountain, the ascent about 2 miles long and quite steep. Travel 9 miles after and camp in a beautiful plain surrounded by stately pine and cedar. Excellent feed for our stock." Getting close. Slow down. Getting close to camp. Lassen Creek Campground, Modoc National Forest. This is Lassen Creek Campground, and it's a beautiful, beautiful flat spot among the big trees. There's a creek over there, just a really relaxing place to be. It's a primitive campsite. I don't really know what that means other than there's no services, no water, no trash. There is a pit toilet, so they got that covered. So is this the most remote campground in California? Why don't you let me know what you think in the comments? Today, Fandango Pass is very quiet. This valley, an incredibly beautiful valley, is owned by 3 families, and they cattle ranch here. I was talking to the son of one of the owners, Everett, and he was sharing with me how quiet it really is, and a little bit about the ranching business that they do here. It does get hot in the summer. You know, today was well above 90, and he told me in the winter one time he had it at 29 below, so it gets cold as well. Everett was surprised to see me with my camera capturing some of the images that I'm sharing with you. And he asked me why I was there. Not a lot of people come out this way, and certainly there aren't a lot of tourists. And I told him one of the things that I love about California is there are places still like this valley, like Fandango Pass, that are relatively undiscovered, that you can go to get lost in. And I want to thank you guys for coming along on this journey. Hopefully, we'll see you again next time.